up, everybody? Devaney here from DeveneyInteractive, the hippest mom in all of YouTube, bringing you some Team Deathmatch today on Village. Today is Friday. I have had the most effed up Friday ever, but I do have some exciting news that I do want to talk about. But I got to tell you about my Friday. My kids are out of school, right? So I wake up this morning and I'm like, I'm going to get up early. They're going to sleep in. And I'm going to be able to get all my work done, get my video out. I mean, man, I've been trying to get this video out all friggin' day. Y'all don't know. I'm crying over here. So my oldest one, he won his football game last night, which means that they're going to go to the regionals for the postseason in football. So that means, of course, whether they had school or not, he had to wake up this morning and he had to go to football practice. So I wake him up and then I come sit down. And I'm trying to get everything all taken care of. And he comes home from practice. And then there's just arguments in my house till like friggin' noon. Seriously? Seriously? I'm not getting this. I'm just having like the worst Friday ever. I should never, ever, ever upload a video while my kids are at home. Because I should have just gave up at like 5 o'clock and went to Margaritaville or something, which I still might do. I don't know yet. But it's just been the worst Friday ever. Y'all have no idea. So, but what I wanted to talk to you guys about, since I want to tell you how bad my Friday is for like a minute and a half. David Vonderhaar, actually, he replied to one of the tweets. And actually, it was on Charlie Intel. You're going to see it on the screen right about now, if I'm clever with the Sony Vegas. I've been on David Vonderhaar for a few months now. Since like E3, I've been on him. Because I wanted to know if there was a locale preference in Black Ops 2. And he normally, he never said anything. He would never respond. But I would just randomly just tweet at him and say, hey, how about this locale preference? Hey, you know. And finally, I was last week sometime, I was just like, a legit question, you know, will there be a locale preference? I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen tons of videos on perks and stuff. And most of the stuff that are concerns when it comes to perks and things of that nature have been asked and answered. I legitimately had not seen anything about a locale preference. Well, Von the man, he is the man. He did say something to the effect of he'll tell us more next week because they might have something new and improved coming out. Well, you know me, if somebody says next week, I made sure that I went back like the next week. And I was just like, hey, it's next week. Any news on the locale preference? And he says yes, that it was going to be based on the latency and ping exclusively and not the region based, which I'm not exactly sure. I think the comment section of Charlie Intel had said something that's the way Modern Warfare 2 has been. But, I don't know. I mean, it's anything at this point is better than Modern Warfare 3. I think that should be just a given to anyone. But I wanted to get some interaction from y'all. What do y'all think the pros and cons are with this new latency ping-based matchmaking that they're going to have? Do you think it's going to help the lag comp? Or to me, the reason that it was important to me is because most of my subscribers know that I live in Nowhereville, Kansas. So I get extremely frustrated when I'm playing with people from Mexico City who are like, I don't know, like another country away. So it's very hard. I don't live in a very populated area. So if you live in like the middle of the United States, this is a legitimate concern. Probably doesn't affect anybody in the big cities because you always got like a big player pool to draw from. But to me, I was like, man, I want to make sure that I'm playing with people from like Chicago and not, Mexico City, because at least Chicago is closer than, Mexico City. So I don't know. Leave your interactions down below on what you think the pros and cons. I would also, the question that I kind of had rambling in my head since I've had the worst Friday ever. I guess to most people, it would probably seem like a very obscure thing to ask. Hey, you're going to have the locale preference, or hey, you're going to have combat training. But thankfully, they answered the combat training questions. But it seems like the most obscure things that I tend to be the most curious about when it comes to like new games coming out, especially like a new Call of Duty game. So I don't know. So in the comment section down below, Leave me like your most obscure thing that was like a really big deal to you on an upcoming release that was like highly touted, like I don't know, like Warfighter or Call of Duty, and we all knew how that Warfighter came out. So anyway, that be that. So I am going to be wrapping up this gameplay here. So make sure that you leave your interaction below. Hit that like button if you have not done so already. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. On the screen, you're going to see a link to my previous video, Trending Tuesdays, where I spoke about I can't date if, and you would be surprised at what was trending under I can't date if. I also did like a little mini rant on Honey Boo Boo because I finally saw a clip of Honey Boo Boo. I knew who she was, but I didn't know, like never like seen her act or anything like that. And she was on Drew Pinsky. And anyway, it was a mini rant. She must be very popular because it got a lot of views. But if you have not seen it, please click that link. Follow me on Twitter because that's where I just totally complain about how bad my Friday has been. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing.